Assalamualaikum, ya ahlul internet. A story. So, once upon a time, little me lived in Pakistan as a kid. And one of the things that we really had to look forward to was cartoons. Remember, this was before YouTube was invented. In fact, I think it's still blocked in Pakistan. But the point is, there was no YouTube, there was no cable for us. We didn't have a dish. So we waited very, very eagerly for Tiny Toons to come on. Now, Tiny Toons, if you don't know, is the hipper, cooler, more modern version of Looney Tunes. So instead of Bugs Bunny, they had Buster Bunny. Instead of, what was his name? Instead of the Tasmanian Devil, they had like his cool nephew. Instead of like, they redid it. But it was the only thing we had, so we watched it. And I had watched it in America as well. And then watching it in Pakistan was a little weird because sometimes it didn't make sense. Like sometimes dialogues would cut and jump and the plot would go forward and you would have missed a few things and you're like, wait, what? How did they get there? And we realized what was happening is that anytime that Hampton J. Pig, who was the direct descendant of Porky Pig, came on screen, he was censored. And he wasn't pixelated, he was just removed. So any dialogue, any plot progression, any action, any comedy that had to do with Hampton J. Pig was missing. It was just gone, it wasn't there. When we realized this, we told our cousins and they're like, whoa, they changed it. There's a character from here entirely missing. And they're like, what are you talking about? And we're like, there's a pig. And they're like, no. We're like, yeah, there's a pig. And they're like, no. And they couldn't believe it. Remember, no YouTube. So we couldn't look this up. What we had to do was wait. And this took a few episodes. By the TV. And when it actually came on, in the opening sequence for Tiny Toons, when they showed all of the characters in a panorama in front of the Warner Brothers logo, you could just pick out a teeny tiny Hampton J. Pig. And we're like, there! He's right there! There's a pig! And they're like, oh! And it was like, poof, their minds were blown. Because they never knew there was a pig in Tiny Toons. Now, bear in mind that PTV at that time also aired action, adventure, drama, romance, violence, the evils of Pakistani commercials. So censoring out Hampton J. Pig seemed a little weird, and it still is. Because even though Muslims don't eat pigs, it's not haram to look at pigs, or pet pigs, or like pigs, talk about pigs, draw a pig, have a pig in Old MacDonald nursery rhymes, have a pig in a book about farms, watch Peppa Pig. There are some Muslim parents that actually behave, though, as if pigs and their very existence or acknowledgement or presence in a children's cartoon is wrong. It's like haram. This is silly. I'm saying this now. This is silly. And I've said this before, but I've never felt the need to talk about it until today, when I met a friend of my mother's who is also in a interfaith marriage. She's Christian. Her husband is Muslim. They have children that they're trying to raise as Muslim, and their children are going to a Muslim school. And her little daughter, who has a very classic Muslim name, it's one of the four, is getting bullied at school. And the reason for this is that her daughter likes teeny tiny stuffed toy pigs. She likes little pig stickers. She likes to watch Peppa Pig. She thinks pigs are cute. She doesn't think people should eat pigs. She thinks that's cruel. So she's not trying to consume them. She's trying to love them and appreciate them and take care of them as you would any other animal. And this little girl is getting bullied by other little Muslim girls who come at her with things like, ew, you like pigs, that's haram, that's dirty, you're dirty. And it was bad enough that they changed out of a Muslim school. Guys, If you're one of those parents that won't let your kids talk about a pig or watch Peppa Pig or draw a pig or have a stuffed toy pig, please remember this. Eating cats is also haram. But we have stuffed toy cats. We put cats on our shirts. The kids draw cats. They can crawl around on the floor and go meow. Eating alligators, haram. Monkeys, haram. Unicorns, probably haram. I'm just saying. We don't seem to object to any other animals that we also don't eat. But there's a weird cultural bias against the very existence of pigs. Allah created pigs. He told us not to eat them. So we don't eat them. We also don't eat monkeys, alligators, lions, tigers, snakes. It's a long list. But we really only seem to have a problem with pigs. And other people have noticed. And that's why when people try to offend Muslims, the first thing that they throw at the masjid is bacon. Because they think it's Muslim kryptonite. And guess what? Some Muslims think it's Muslim kryptonite too. But you know what it is? It's just a health hazard. Please don't throw raw meat at the masjid. Someone's going to get sick. Probably you. People throw pigs' heads at the masjid. And one guy on Twitter, nice man, posted a picture of a series of pig heads, poor things, lined up on the road and said, "There, I Muslim-proofed my neighborhood." Good for you. You just made a mess. And you wasted money. There's nothing wrong with pigs. We just don't eat them. Allah made them. There is a lot wrong with bullying. There is a lot wrong with bringing culture into how we raise our children to the point where you would drive a Muslim away from an Islamic school with a bias that exists, again, not in our religion, but just in our culture. Muslims don't eat dogs. But if someone climbed around on all fours and was like, woof, woof, they're Pakistani parents, might go, oh, aisa nahi karte beta. But dogs used to sleep in the masjid at the time of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and that was okay. They also peed on the outside of the masjid, and you just washed it off, and life went on. Do we drink from a vessel that a dog has drunk out of? No, because it's not clean. But dogs, in their very existence, is not haram. Think about it. And the next time you want to teach your kids about something that's evil and haram and wrong, start with bullying instead. Seriously. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.